Hi everyone. It is Sunday, September 28th, and my name is Yolanda Nixon. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and my team name is P&I Crafters. The P is for paper and the I is for ink, which are the two most important things for paper crafting, in my opinion. Thank you for joining me. I am a little bit late today. I've had some technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. I think it was my internet, but got it resolved. So I am here just a little bit late. Usually I go live at 8 o'clock, but it is now 8:27. So if you catch this on the replay, that is just fine. So what I'm doing is the 12 weeks of Stampmas. Stampmas is stamping plus Christmas, Stampmas, and I am creating 2 Christmas holiday cards or other projects that are Christmas and holiday related for you to use. I'm going to show you the products that I'm using. I'm going to create the 2 projects from scratch, so that way you can see all the steps, and comment on the video throughout also while you're watching the replay, because commenting on this video will give you the chance to win the 2 cards that I create tonight. I will post the winner on this video next Sunday before I go live. So the winner for last week's cards was Chastity Wilbur. So Chastity, if you're watching or watching the replay, please send me your address, and I will get those cards in the mail for you so you can use them for the holiday season. So let me go over just a few things. As a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, I do hold monthly card classes. I am in Grand Prairie, Texas, so usually they're here in my home, or if I have something special going on, like a catalog kickoff, then I will probably do it at one of the conference rooms at the nearby hotels. So, but all that information will be in the invite when I put those announcements out. So a little bit later, I'm going to show you the cards that we made for this month's card class. So my card class is usually the 4th Saturday of the month, except if it's a holiday, then I move it to the 3rd Saturday of the month. They run from 10 o'clock to 3 p.m., 10 a.m. through 3 p.m., and you can arrive at any time. Just make sure that you have the chance to finish your cards before 3 p.m. But if you're a little bit late, that's fine. Like I said, as long as you have enough time to get those cards created, and I will be, of course, here to help you create those cards. So I'm going to go over some of the items that I have coming up. Besides my card class, which will be in October, I do have a craft retreat coming up in October, the 16th through the 19th. Let me make sure I get those dates right. Yes. So it's the 16th through the 19th. It's the 3rd weekend of October, and I will be hosting my craft retreat in Red Oak, Texas, at the Raggedy Inn craft retreat, and I have 4 spots available. And there is a fee for the crafting part. Meals will be included. Of course, you get room and board, so all of that, and it's going to be 4 days of fun, and then you just bring your crafty items to work on, and it could be anything from sewing, from paper crafting. Some people do knitting, so whatever you feel like bringing and working on during the craft retreat is okay. So there is a few posts down from here that gives you all the information about the craft retreat. So if you're interested, let me know. Send me a message here on Facebook, and I will answer all the questions that you have. Also, the link to sign up for registration for the craft retreat is in the post. That's a few posts down from this one. The next thing I have is Stampin' Up! Actually has card making day coming up on October 4th, and they also they're hosting it live, and it's free for anyone to join. So if you want to join, please sign up with the link. Also, it's a couple posts down on my business page here, P&I Crafters, on Facebook. And you can join. There is a bundle that you can purchase to craft along with Stampin' Up. And all that information is on the post. So make sure that you sign up before October 3rd, and you don't have to purchase anything. Like, again, this is free, so you can just sit and watch while we create some cards. The next thing is I am co-hosting a craft cruise. So a crafting cruise is going to be October 10th, and it's an 8-day cruise to the Bahamas, going out of Galveston. We have plenty of room for the crafting cruise, and it's a lot of fun. So while we're at sea, we craft. Where we're at port, of course, we get down, do some excursions, things like that. But you are welcome into the craft room at any time, 24/7 while we are on the cruise. Myself and Evelyn, who are co-hosting this cruise, will be available to help you with the projects that we have. Of course, again, you can bring whatever you would like to work on. Just make sure that you bring a reasonable amount, because there's a lot of stuff to do on the cruise that you probably don't think there is. But I've been on some cruises here lately where I didn't get anything done because I was so busy with all the fun stuff that they have on the cruise. So please join us. If you need some more information, please let me know. Again, the cruise is October 10th of 2026, and we are sailing out of Galveston, going to the Bahamas. It's an 8-day cruise, and you are welcome to sign up at any time. And I believe final payment is due on, I think, in July of next year, but I'll make sure about that. So you can pay it off up until July, so no worries. If just put your deposit down, and then you can work with the cruising company to make your payments. So I hope you will join us for that. We would love to have you. And also there is I do have a monthly ordering special. So any time of the month, if you purchase anything from my online store, there is a monthly special. So if you purchase $25 or more, you will receive 5 free greeting cards that have been created by me. So those will be mailed to you. If you purchase $50 or above, you get the greeting cards plus an embellishment. The embellishment could be some rhinestones, could be some ribbon, some twine, anything that is in the embellishments page. And then if you order $75 or more, you get the cards plus the embellishment plus a 6x6 designer paper pack. So all of that will be mailed to you once you make a purchase, and this is one per person per month. So if you order something today in September and order something next week in October, you will get one for each month. Okay, so I am going to now turn my camera down to my crafting table. You may see my fan, but that's okay. Just give me a few seconds to adjust my camera, and we can get stamping. And there's my love. Ooh. See, those are the technical difficulties I was having. Okay, so here's my crafting table. And this is our new mini catalog. It is from September to December 2025. Actually, it goes until January 5th of 2025. It has all of our Thanksgiving, some Halloween, Christmas, all occasion stamp sets, dies, and designer series paper, plus some kits that are in this catalog. And if you would like a copy of this catalog to have in your hands, please send me a message and I will get this delivered to you. If you come to a card class, of course, you can always come pick it up from me, or if I see you around town, you can always come pick it up from me. But these are some of the stamp sets that we have in the brochure, in the catalog. The stamp set that we're using today is not part of the catalog. So we also have some online exclusives that are only online, and this is one of them. This is our Festive Friends bundle. And with the Festive Friends bundle, you get the stamp set, which is clean, and you also get the dies. You can purchase these separately, but if you purchase them together, there's a 10% discount savings for you. So make sure that you buy the bundle. And what the dies do is when you, and we're going to be doing this, when you stamp and color in the elf or the Santa or the snowman, then you're able to cut around them with the die, so that way you don't have to do it by hand. There are also some extra items like this beard for the elf. I think it's for the elf. Yes, you can put the beard. I think that's a beard. It looks like a beard. And then of course you have some snowflakes. This is well, this is a tag, and then this is to write your sentiment. And on the stamp set, of course, you have 3 sentiments also, and a snowflake. Sorry, I'm just making sure that. Okay. Okay, I'm hoping that this is live. I think so. Everything over here is not working the way it's supposed to. All right, I am going to continue. I think this is working, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, so before we go on, if you guys can give me a thumbs up or maybe write a comment, because my little computer over here is not working right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep going. So this is a Festive Friends bundle that we're going to be using. We're also going to be using another online exclusive. So this is our designer series paper. It is called Regal Distress Patterns, and if you're unsure what colors come in your designer paper, they usually have them listed down here. So we're going to be using basic beige, cherry cobbler, and pretty peacock. And these are the, let me show you the designer series paper. So you get 2 sheets of each. So we have the pretty peacocks, and you have some vines, and these are one-sided. And then you have the cherry cobbler, and you have some squares, and then you have basic beige or white. It kind of looks more like white with basic beige squares. So those are the designer series paper that we're going to be using for these 2 projects. And what we're making today are gift cards holders. So gift cards are very popular during the season. Oh, before I go on, let me show you this. I want to do this now before I forget to do it at the end of the video. So I had my card class this Saturday, which was yesterday. So I'm going to show you the cards that I made for my card class. So if you came to my card class, these are the cards that we made. So for Halloween, so I had 3 card classes. One was Halloween, one was which is 4 cards, one was Thanksgiving or Thanks, which is 4 cards, and then my Stampmas stack, which was 12 cards. And it was Christmas. So this is one of the cards for Halloween. And then we have this one here. And we have this one, All Tricks. And my last one was Eek. And this opens up like this. It's sort of a fancy fold. So those were the 4 cards that were made for the Halloween card class. And then for the Thanksgiving or Thanks, we have Grateful for You. And this one says, Blessed to have you in my life. And this is a die that comes in the bundle. And this bundle is from the mini catalog. And then we have Autumn Wishes. Here's a Thanks. And then the last one is also another Thanks. So these are the 4 that we made for the Thanksgiving card class. And they got to make 4, 1 of each. And then for my Stampmas stack, which was my 12 cards, we did Christmas. So we used the same paper that we're using tonight. This is 'Tis the Season. And then we have Sending Christmas Wishes. We have Christmas Wishes. And that's a fancy fold. And then the last one is we got to make a shaker card. So everybody got to make 3 shaker cards, the same design, but they got to make shaker cards. So if you are interested in next month's card classes, we will have Thanksgiving, 4 cards, Christmas, 4 cards, and then another Stampmas stack for 12 cards for Christmas. So it's the time to be doing Christmas cards. So join us, and it's going to be the last Sunday of October. Okay, so let's get started with our first gift card holder card. So this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using Cherry Cobbler, the Cherry Cobbler designer paper, the one with the squares. And then these are for all of the other parts that we need. So this is a 11 by 4 1/4 basic white cardstock, and we're going to fold that in half. And if you have a full size of cardstock, this is going to be half. If you cut up in 4 1/4, it's just going to be half of the 8 1/2 by 11. So we're going to fold that in half. And I'm going to use my bone folder to crease this down. And the designer series paper, it measures at 4 by 5 1/4. And the Cherry Cobbler is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And all we're going to do is we're going to add it on top. And again, this is the one-sided designer series paper, so it's specialty paper. So you don't have to worry about missing out on the back design. Most of our designer series paper are 2-sided, so sometimes you don't want to cut the paper because it's nice on both sides, and you struggle to say, oh, I want this, but no, I don't want that. Okay, so now we're going to add, and I'm using my Stampin' Seal. We're going to add this to the front of our card. And here is where we get our paper trimmer out. We are going to cut this at 1 1/2 inches from the right side. So you're going to add it here. We're going to do 1 1/2 up until that crease. And then you just, if you need to cut it down with your scissors, or you can just go over it again. But I'm just going to use my scissors just in the spots where it didn't cut. And you're going to have your 2 flaps like this. So now we're going to add our tearing tape. Forgot the name of this. So this is our tearing tape. It's double-sided tape that easily goes on to any surface, and it's called tearing tape because you can tear it just with your fingernails. So we're going to add it to the top side here, and on this side I'm just going to use scissors. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to add this right here, and I am going to need another little piece to cover this side. And now I'm going to use my tool and take off the backing. And you can do this with your fingernail, but sometimes that doesn't work for me, so I use my tool. And we're going to close this down, but when you close it down, make sure that it's flush, because sometimes it can move. So make sure it's flush with the bottom piece. And what we've created is a pocket. By only putting tape on the edges and not this side, we've created a pocket. Let me get a piece. So if this was a gift card, your gift card would go right here because we've created that pocket. And then you just close this down and it goes right over. Just like this. So now we're gonna work on the top and we're gonna decorate. Let me move this out the way. And I'm gonna bring in my my die cutting machine. So this is my die cutting machine, and I'm gonna kind of move that out. And I'm gonna get all of the dies that I need for die cutting. Oh, you know what? Before we die cut, let me stamp. And I will show you. So I'm going to stamp on this card. It's going to be Santa. So I'm going to use my Memento Black. On this piece. Ooh. Well, that's fine. Just press it down. Let me close that up. And I'm going to be using my blends. I'm going to use my cherry cobbler and my basic black, and also our, well, I'm using the ivory. I think it's still in the catalog. I forgot to check, but I think it is. So I'm going to start with the dark. So when I color with our blends, I do what we used to do in grade school. So I trace with the dark and then fill in with the light. So I'm going to do his coat, sleeves, then I'm going to use, this is the, now I put this sticker on here because it's easier for me to read. I just use my label maker to do that. So if you have a hard, because if you turn it over, here's the name, Light Cherry Cobbler, and sometimes that's, you know, kind of small. So I just use my label maker to put it on there. And we're going to color in now. I know there's different techniques for using these, but to me this is just the simplest. And now we're going to be using our dark basic black, and our blends have two sides. So you have a thin side and a thick side or wide side, and you can use the wide side for coloring in, and I use the thin side for tracing. So I'm going to use this side. And those are his boots. And also you can use the thin side when you have a smaller space to color. Sometimes the brush on the other side is a little bit too wide and it might go out. So I just use that one. I'm going to use my ivory. And I'm going to color his face. Don't forget to comment on the video to have a chance to win these two cards that I'm making. The last piece I'm going to use is my Wick of Stella. So if you've never used a Wick of Stella pen, this is a glitter pen. So basically you just add it on to anything. It is clear, but when it dries, there is glitter on your project. So I am just doing his hat and his coat and his mittens. And I'm gonna put this to the camera. I don't know if you can see some of that glitter. The other thing is that when I stamp this, the eyes, they're not really, there's some space in there, so I'm just gonna go over them with my black. And that's it. There is my, oh, I've got his ears. I gotta color his ears. Okay, now we're going to be doing some die cutting. So I'm going to take everything that I need out. So I'm going to be using, Santa is here. No, that's not Santa. Where's Santa? This is Santa. No, that's, yes. This is Santa. And I am going to add a little bit of washi tape. So washi tape is just removable tape. We used to have some of this, and I just use it to hold the die in place when I go through die cutting. We are going to use the tree to make a tree with Mossy Meadow. And I've used this before, so I got the remains of the last tree. So we're going to use that with Mossy Meadow. We're going to use our sentiment placeholder, and then we're going to use our tag. And the tag is going to go here. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Okay, so now I am going to whiten it out. Give me a minute. Okay. And now you can see all the stuff around in my desk. I'm sure everybody has a messy craft table like I do. I try to keep it clean, but as soon as I clean it and I do something, it gets messy right again. So, you know, just gotta live with the messy table. We're gonna do that one. We're gonna do the Mossy Meadow. And if you have space, you can do all of these at the same time. You don't have to wait. Like I have enough space here to do that, to do these. And if it hangs off of the plate, that's fine, as long as what you're die cutting is on the plate. So see, I'm going to do all 4 of them together. And then you put your top plate on top, hold it down, roll it through a machine, grab it up here for some support. And all of that is normal. So if you hear that click, click, clack, that is normal. I'm going to zoom back in. And then just kind of slide them off. All right. So here's my Santa. And I have a little recycle bin over here on the side. Where my sentiment goes. Here's my tag. Now you can use this at the tag. The little star comes out. So it's very easy used as a tag. And you can use this as like a little sentiment. You can match it up. And it just swings if you want something else on there. So there's many ways to use it. Then of course we have our tree. So we're going to start assembling this. So we're going to get our tree, and I'm going to use some Tombow glue, if I could find it. And I'm just going to add just a little bit. I'm going to go up on the tree. We are going to use some dimensionals on Santa. Make sure you grab those mittens and the feet. and a couple, like 3 or 4 across the body. And then take off the backing. So this was all, these are also double-sided adhesive, but they're called dimensionals because they give your project a dimension. It raises it up just a little bit. So we're going to put Santa right in front of that tree. And one more thing I forgot is going to be our stars. So we're going to be using these right here, these 2 stars. So let me get my die cutting machine back out. I'm just going to do this right quick, so I'm not going to do zoom it out. Oop, that went haywire. Let me get a bigger piece. And then just roll it through. And if you're wondering why I am not completely done with my card, since it is 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock, is because I started late. I had some technical difficulties and I didn't start till about 8:30. So bear with me. I'm just a little bit late. Well, I will be a little bit late. Okay, so now we have these 2. This is really small, so to use with a dimensional. So I'm just going to put some glue right in the middle, and that's a little bit too much. I'm going to take that off. And this is going to sit right on top of the Christmas tree, of the tree. So we're going to make it like a Christmas tree. And this star does have space for a mini dimensional right in the middle. So we're going to do that. Take the backing off. And I'm going to put this one here on the side. And then we're going to grab our little sentiment holder, and we are going to stamp Santa's Coming to Town with cherry cobbler. This is our cherry cobbler. And this is our old style of ink pads. I'm going to use the new style in just a minute. And this fits right in the middle. And make sure when you stamp, you don't rock it back and forth, because if you get ink on the bottom or the top of your words, you're going to have what we call halos, like ink smudges. Okay, now on this one, we're going to add 2 dimensionals. We're going to add, it's going to go like this. We're going to add one to the side and one in the middle. Do not add one on this side. And I'll show you why. Okay, now we're going to add dimensionals on the back of this. Again, this is going to go right here in the middle. So as we can see, part of this is going to be on this side. When you open your card, the Santa is going to come with you. So you don't want any dimensionals on this side. So we're just going to flip it over and kind of halfway just put dimensionals on this side. I'm going to pop these up, and I'm going to do a zigzag, and then one more on this corner. Take the backings off. Center it on your card and move it just a little bit up, but not too far up. Okay, what? Just a little bit. Oop, I'm crooked. There we go. Now you're going to take these off, and you're going to put it right in at the bottom. And you've got the 2 dimensionals right here, none right here, because it's the same thing. You don't want a dimensional here, because then it's going to be stuck to this. So if this is our gift card, Santa's Coming to Town. Oh, forgot one thing. When we get the cherry cobbler, and I am going to clean this off because I think I used the other color. And So I'm a bit old school. I use a my spray, my Stampin' spray, and a what do you call it? A towel. I do have my chamois, but it's a little bit dry. But I'm just gonna. Ooh, that didn't work. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna tap, tap, tap. Again, go straight down and up. Do not rock it, so that way you don't get your halos. And it says to and from. You can write your message right here. Gonna let that breathe. And this is where your gift card would go. And that's our first card. And if you have some twine, you can add it through here and then just have it flow down. That would be cute too. I just thought about that, but this is my first card. So let's get moving to the second card because I want to make sure we end by 9:30. Okay, so I've done all the cutting and scoring on this one, but I am going to tell you the measurements. And of course, if you join my VIP group, all of these instructions will be uploaded to the group, so you don't have to worry about writing down the dimensions. There, I will be posting the link to the VIP group, so that way you can go in and join. So this is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, which is also half of our 8.5 by 11. So this one has been scored at, let me grab mine. This has been scored at 2.5 and 6.5. And then we're gonna have a smaller piece, which is 4 by 5 7/8, and it's been scored at 1/2. Oh, not that one, this one. It's been scored at 1/2 and 3 7/8. So if you put it like this on your trimmer, it's 1/2 and then 3 7/8. So we're gonna do folding now. I'm gonna use my bone folder to make that crease. And we're also going to make this crease. The 1.5 side will go, if you're looking at it like this, will go back, but this one will go forward. So they're the opposite. So this one goes forward, this one goes back. Okay, so now we're gonna decorate or put our designer paper. This designer paper is the one that goes on the front. So this is the front of the card. So this overlaps, if you can see, it overlaps about 1/2 inch. So this is the top and this is the bottom. So on the top side, this is 2.25 by 5.25. And the pretty peacock is 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. So basically it's a 1/8 inch difference. And we're going to add that here. And then we're going to add this to the top, making sure that the vines are going the right way and they're not upside down. So you want to do this. So then the vines go like this. And then we're going to do the bottom side. And then this is the bottom side. The designer paper measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And the pretty peacock cardstock is 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. I'm going to add it on here. And it just leaves a small edge of that pretty peacock cardstock. And add it again. And make sure again that the vines are going the exact same way. So we're going to do it this way. I know it looks upside down, but it's not. So when you fold it, it's going to fold like this and all the vines are going the same way. All right, now we're going to add, this is our basic white, and it's going to be for our to and from sentiment. So now I need to clean this off again, because I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. And this is our new style of ink pads. So this one, let me show you the cherry cobbler, which is the old style, which is still good. You push and then you lift and push again. So the new style is just lift and push. So one step less. Okay, so we're gonna stamp this towards the top of the basic white, and also towards the left, because you want to have room to write the person's name and then who's it from. And again, just stamp down and up, do not rock it. And you have the to and from. And I will show you why we did all of that just this particular way. Now we're going to add this to the top or the bottom flap of our little insert here. So this is your insert. So again, this half goes down and this goes up. So we're going to add it here, and just 1/8 of an inch or less from the top, just giving you a little bit of a border. Don't worry about this part, that's not going to be seen at all. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use tear and tape on this side and on this side, these two sides, to create a pocket. So let me bring in my tear and tape. And this is going to be a little bit too long, but that is okay, because I will just cut that off and I will add it back to my tear and tape to use somewhere else. Perfect. So now we're going to take these two off, and we're going to close that pocket. Okay, just press it just a little bit. Now we're going to add tear and tape to this side. Actually, I'm going to use glue, only because I need time to set it before it becomes permanent, and glue gives you that opportunity. So if you're unsure about where something may go, just use glue. So I'm gonna bring this flap here straight. Ooh, why am I getting all these little pieces? Straight flush against this crease right here. And if you have to close it like this to make sure that it's flush, and then press, and then you should have, see how that is flush, and then you get that little crease. Just like this. And then this piece right here, we're going to tuck it in here. And you could have done this before or before you put it here, but it makes it easier for me because I don't have to worry about this being tucked in. So I'm going to grab a gift card. Okay, I'm going to grab this. It's not a gift card, but I'm going to grab this. So if your gift card was here, when you open it, it comes right out. See, and that's where you have the to and from. That's why you have to stamp it towards the top. So if you put it like in the middle, it might be covered by this here. So you want to be able to see the to and from. So just pop it out. Fancy, fancy. But I need this for the stars. So let me get that out. Okay, so now we're going to do the decorating. So again, we're going to use some, ooh, what is this color? Cloud Cover. It's one of our new in colors. And we're going to make another tag. We're also going to use the stars. We're going to make 2 stars with this. And we're going to stamp the snowman. So let me stamp first. Oh, and then we're also going to do the sentiment holder here. So let me stamp my snowman. Snowman. I'm gonna use my Memento Black. And then we're gonna stamp. And we're going to color. So I'm gonna be using Pretty Peacock, the light and the dark. I'm going to be using the dark pumpkin pie and my light and dark cherry cobbler. So I'm going to do the nose first, and that's just pretty simple. I'm going to use the dark Pretty Peacock to trace first. And we're going to alternate colors here. And we're going to use the light. Now, if you're wondering about this side, when I have card classes, I put tape on this side so that the people attending my class know to use the opposite side. So this means nothing. It's not broken or anything, but it's just I used this for my card class yesterday, and I wanted them to use this side. So I put tape so they don't use that side. So that's all that means, just in case you were wondering. I'm very curious, or some people say nosy, so I would have been asking the question too. So don't worry, I answered the question before you asked, because I would ask. Okay, now we're using our dark cherry cobbler, the thin side, and use this to trace. And that piece there. And we're also going to do the scarf. I was about to say tie. It's the scarf in cherry cobbler. And now we're going to use the thin side to color all that in. So if you hadn't heard, we do have Stampin' Write markers that will be discontinued after this annual catalog. So we have blends, which is the light and the dark, but then we also have markers. So if you want to purchase the markers, I suggest you do that now, because they will be discontinued on our next catalog. Now I'm going to go back through and darken the eyes, because I see a little blotches, and also the mouth dots here, just to make it a little bit darker. And then the last piece is the week of Stella. Get some glitter. Put some glitter on here. Glitter on the top of the hat. Not on the snowman itself, but just, it just adds a little bit of extra. I'm going to see if you can see the little extra. Can you see the little extra? It's like glitter right there, and on the little cotton ball on top. You can just see it just a little bit. And if you can't, that's fine. But I know it's there, and it looks good. I like it. Alright, so now we're going to bring in my die cutting machine. And we're going to, that's not it. Why am I getting this wrong? That's him. And I'm going to add my washi tape. Just to hold that in place. Okay, so we're going to do 2 stars, or snowflakes. And yes, I know they're in gold instead of silver, but the paper has gold. I didn't feel right doing silver. We're going to do for our sentiment, and then we're going to do our tag. Okay. So bring out my die cutting machine. And since we've already gone through this with my die cutting machine, I am not going to zoom out so you can see. But again, we're going to do all of these at the same time. So here is my snowman. Here is my sentiment piece. I'm going to do my tag. And if it overlaps, that's fine because it's only cutting where the tag is. It's not going to cut that piece right there. But this is hanging over, so I might not want to do that. So let me move this over here. Okay, I might have to do 2 of these. That's fine. So I'll do my star there. Or something like, oh God, I just moved everything, didn't I? Set my plate on top and then roll it on through. Okay, it's a good thing I had to do another one because I forgot I'm going to do 2 of the snowflakes. And this little dot that comes from the middle of the snowflake is very important, so please, if you're going to try this, don't throw that away because you will need it. And I'm going to use my tool here to poke out my star, or snowflake, it's not a star, snowflake. And then I'm going to do the sentiment. So when you do the second snowflake, make sure you keep that little middle circle because we're going to need that. And it is tiny, so be careful when you take it off of your plate. So I'm going to do this. Just push that on through. Okay, so now we have our pieces here. Let me get my tool, punch this out. Punch that other one out. Just make sure you keep up with that one. Here's my sentiment tag, my snowman, and my other star, and well, I sure did lose my other little my little circle thing. It's here. I'm gonna find it. Don't worry, it's here. I just gotta find it. It's small. Okay. No panic. No panic. That's fine. We'll get through this. Okay. So let me bring back my card. Oh, stamping. I got a stamp. So my pretty peacock. I just said keep up with that little thing, and now I can't find it. And we're gonna use the other sentiment from the stamp set, which is "We wish you a Merry Christmas." And we're gonna stamp the bottom just straight up and down. Okay, so on this one we are going to add dimensionals, and you can add dimensionals on close to either side because it's going to be flat at the bottom. It's going to go right here. Then we're going to get our tag. Oh, wrong one. And we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of the snowman. About 6 or 7 of them. Make sure you get the hat, the arms, the feet, and then just throughout the body. And if you don't press these down, you might have some opportunity to pick them up and reposition them. So that's what I did with that one. Now we take them all off. And we're gonna place this horizontally, and we're gonna place the snowman right in the middle. Now we're gonna add a dimensional to the back of the snowflake, and as you can see, there is a hole there, so that's why it was important to keep this piece. And we turn it around. So if you're not familiar with our pick tool, on one side you have like the little tool, the pick tool, but you can then turn it and unlock it, and then it has like a little spatula. Well, that's what I call it. And then you can turn and lock it, and there's your little lock. But on this side, we have our putty, and our putty, we can use that for grabbing little things like this. Instead of with our hand, we can just grab it, and it's not adhesive, it's just like putty, it's like magic. And then you can put that little piece right in the middle, and we're going to put that star there. And I am going to put this one because I am going to find that little piece probably after the live, because it's here somewhere. I saw it roll off. But if we don't have that piece, then you have this little part. Now, if I don't find the little piece, which I know I will, you could have maybe put a rhinestone in there in the middle or anything else. So, you know, don't, oh, see, there it is. I found it. I found it. Yay. Ooh. I knew it was here. So I'm going to grab that with our putty, put it right in the middle, and because it's double-sided adhesive, it's going to stick. Yay. It's not incomplete. Okay, so then this is going to go right here in the top. So about underneath his arms, we can add dimensionals to the top. So when we flip it over, maybe about right here, we can add dimensionals on this part. So let's do that. And again, I'm going to go in a zigzag, just like the other one. Put 5. And we're going to add it here, right above that sentiment. Make sure it's in the middle. And that is our finished card. So again, we use the Festive Friends bundle. You have an elf, which we did not use. You have a Santa, you have a snowman, tree, 3 sentiments, snowflake, and of course the coordinating dies. And these are the 2 cards that we made. These are gift card holders. This one you open and you can place your gift card right in there. And this one you open it this way and your gift card goes right in there. Perfect for the holiday season. You can also change out the sentiments and of course the design on top and make this a happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy graduation, you know, whatever kind of gift card you need. You can switch out the design. The format's going to be the same of the card, but these are quick and easy to make and use all year round depending on the designer paper and the design that you use. But again, make sure you comment on the video for a chance to win these 2 cards. I will be posting the winner before I go live next Sunday. And if that is you and you are not part of my mailing list already, please send me a message with your address so I can mail these out to you. I want you to have these before the holiday season comes around, so that way you have enough time to mail them out to your family members or friends. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sticking with me. I know I am late. I will be on time next week. Make sure that all my internets and stuff are working, so please forgive me, but I will see y'all next week. Thank you so much. Y'all have a lovely night and a good week.